Unfortunately, a lot of Mormons, I don't think, really understand all the things that went on that led to Joseph Smith's death. All they see is a lot of what they perceive as just unjust persecution, the fact that he was jailed several times. But I find in my experience that a lot of Mormons really don't understand what were all the reasons for all these things. Why was he in jail for this? All they ever understood is that, well, he must have, just because of his righteousness and unrighteous people trying to silence him, that this is why he was incarcerated, when there's really more to the story than that. And of course he's a very controversial figure, and he was doing some things that had really upset a lot of very close followers, so much so that a lot of these followers started to fall away from him and were really upset with his lifestyle. 7 men got together to produce a newspaper called the Nauvoo Expositor. It's supposed to be a weekly newspaper. It ended up only coming out with 1 edition, and the reason is because Joseph Smith was just furious over this edition that was really attacking his abuse of power as mayor, John Taylor, who would later become the 3rd president of the Mormon Church, and also a man by the name of Willard Richards. While they are waiting in the jail, he is visited by a man by the name of Cyrus Wheelock. Now, there's an interesting story about all this. Joseph Smith received this smuggled pistol from Cyrus Wheelock. If you were to ever take the tour at Carthage Jail, they never mention the smuggled pistol. I've been there several times. Never do the tour guides volunteer the information regarding the smuggled pistols that Joseph Smith and his brother had. But it all goes back to this man by the name of Cyrus Wheelock. Well, one of the times when I was going through the tour guide again left that part of the story out. So when he opened up for questions and answers, I raised my hand and I asked about the smuggled pistol. And I actually quoted from the documentary History of the Church, Volume 7, where it talks about this, page 101 to 103. And when I mentioned that book to the tour guide, he said, well, you have to be careful about the books that you read, because there's a lot of erroneous material out there. And I went, but wait a minute, the documentary History of the Church, that's your book. That's put out by the Mormon Church.